Hey everybody, it's the Big Bad Bulldog, otherwise known as Mr. Metalhead Warrior and Y. Alright, I want to thank everybody for coming back in again. Appreciate it. I hope you guys enjoyed the past videos. This is going to be part 4, I think it is, of um 2025 releases. First one I want to start off with is an album that I know a lot of people have criticized, aren't sure on, um, still on the fence about. I'm still on the fence about this album too. Um, when I first heard the title of it, like a lot of people, I was like, "Is this the end of them?" The Mighty Behemoth. Everybody knows the title, "The Shit of God." Um, when I first heard this, I was like, "Okay, are they at the end? Have they lost their edge? Um, is Nurgle just, backing down from it? Has he lost creative stuff?" But after listening to this album quite a few times, throw out the title of the album. Just throw it out. Get rid of that. The album is not really that bad of a record. It's really, really not. Um, I know a lot of people were saying it was the best since the Satanist. Um, I think it's the best since Demigod, to believe it or not. Don't get me wrong, Satanist was a great record. It's one of my favorite ones by them. But I gotta go with Demigod. I mean, Demigod is my favorite record by them, probably my top three by them. I know a lot of people, you know, want them to go back to their early stuff. I've been into these guys since I probably first heard them in 93-ish or 94. One of their earliest ones, my favorite, um, As the Forest Dreams Eternally. I got it right up there at that top row up there. It's one of my favorite by them. It's an early EP. Um, it was reissued recently, I think 2021, I believe, 2022 or something in that range. It's a big booklet, digipack. Great thing to have. Explains everything. It's original artwork and everything with it. Got it back there. Another one, um, um, Return of the Northern Moon. Again, older stuff. This is when I first heard them. I know people that have just gotten into them over the past, you know, 10, 12 years, um, for whatever reason. Either they're too young, just getting into it or whatever. But this album is not that bad. Yeah, some of the lyrics, you know, seem a little just thrown in. For instance, my captain, your captain, or something like that. The lyric is. With that being aside, the album it's still behemoth. There's that first track. Yeah, it starts off with that atmospheric intro, but then it just rips. And I mean, it gets that old school behemoth feel. Um, the Shadow Elite. That the first song, you know, it starts off again the atmospheric, and then it just kicks right into it. It brings back that nasty, dark and black and death metal, the pagan metal sound. Um, I think Nergo's vocals on this are some of the best. It's still that harsh sounding vocal that he's been known for. Granted, it's not the same type of vocal that he had earlier on. I know a lot of people were saying that. Let's face it, the past two albums weren't that great. Um, I love you at your darkest. I think it was that level where they didn't know what you know. I think that was their tank album. That one album that people that say, what are they trying to do? And then um, the one after that, you know, let's face it, almost I this band's been around for what going on 36 years now, I believe it is, something like that, in that range. They're gonna have bad albums. Like I said, their earlier stuff is behemoth. Period. This album, I think, is a fresh breath compared to the past two. Um, Sowing Salt, another great track. There's parts of this album that are melodic, um, just straight up death metal, and then you get the dark and black metal thrown back in. The guitar work on here is insane. I think the guitar work is great. Drumming, it has blast beats, it has some slower doomy type um, um, feel to it. Um, you still have the blast beats. Um, some of the songs that stood out for me, besides Shadow of the Elite, um, Luciferion, insane track, heavy track, brutal track, straight up behemoth. Of what was it? No one, no one barbarum. Another one. It's aggressive. It has still has the aggression to it. It's heavy, black and dark and death metal. Like I said, take away the title of this album, and it's a very very good record. It's not gonna be like a return to form for them. I don't think. I think it's too late for them in their career. Um, you know, he did an interview. That's the inside of it. I liked the inside of this. I'm thinking about getting this as a tattoo. I like that, and also thinking about that also for a tattoo. I think it's an awesome piece. Um, all the things that they've gone through, all the things that Nurgle's been has gone through in the past, you know, 5 6 years. You know, the trial that he had with the Polish government. You know, about his views on Christianity and this and that. His cancer battle that he had. People seem to forget about that. You know, so will we ever see an album like Demigod again? No. I would love it, but no. Grom, an album that people didn't like. I don't know why. I absolutely love that record. It's raw, it's ugly, it's gnarly, it's in your face. It's behemoth. And again, that's some of the early stuff that you know I heard by them. Zolskia Kotis, which basically is Here and Beyond. Another great record by them. You look back at their catalog from start until now, they've only had what, two, maybe three albums. Come on, like I said, Mrs. Metalhead could tell you, I was spinning this record for so long. Just I would throw it on while I was doing something. It's that type of album where you could throw it on and just keep playing it. The songs are not rushed. They're not overdone. They're not overdone. I think the production on this is pretty good. It could be a little bit better, but it's behemoth. I'm used to that raw sound, not the overdone sound. Their pagan days, their cult days, that classic Polish black and death metal cult sound that they were known for. I've seen these guys, you know, 4 times, 5 times. Last time I saw them was on the um, I love you at your darkest tour, and they put on a hell of a show. you know, um, like I said, it's not a real bad album. Um, it's not. I think it's I think it's one of their better ones over the past, you know, 8 9 years. 5 6 releases, 7 releases. But come on, 13th studio album. Like I said, 2 or 3 albums. They're still one of the best dark and black and pagan metal bands ever. and no one can deny that. They were one of those first extreme bands, that went against everything. That whole era in the early '90s of black metal coming up. You know, with Behemoth, Emperor, Dark Throne, Enslaved, Lord Belial, things along that line. You know, all this shit that was going on in Poland, all the shit that was going on in Norway. But getting back to it, I think this album is a really, really good record. It's not a bad record like people all were saying. I'll be the first to admit when I saw the song titles, the title of this record, I was like, oh, here we go. But listening to it, you throw away that title, just get it out, and it should be just be called Behemoth. Like I said, they're still one of my favorite bands. They always will be. I mean, going back, even um, uh, Pandemonic, Pandemonic Incantation, great record. It came out in I think '98. Another great one. Incidentally, that one just got reissued and re-released. They did like a whole, I think like 2 or 3 discs, updated artwork with the original artwork. I think it's the album, some B sides, some outtakes, some demo takes of it, and I think like a couple live versions of it. But I'm definitely gonna grab that record. But again, the Behemoth, shit of God. If you haven't, give this album another check. I think it's a really, really good record for these guys. Big comeback from the past too. You know, so definitely check out the album. Another one, I'm gonna stay with the Polish bands for the first couple. Another band has been putting out incredible stuff. It's also their 13th album. They've been out, God, '97, I think. I think their first one came out in '98. Band called Hate. Absolutely killer, killer black and death metal, pagan metal, cult metal. Bellum Regis. Again, an album straight to it. These guys have been under the radar for so long. And I think having got the right, you know, notoriety from people, often overlooked to the likes of Behemoth. You know, their first record came out in '98, I think it is. Lord is Avenged or something like that. Great record. Great start to it. I'm behind a couple on these guys. I know I'm missing like I think 3 or 4 from their um, collection. Great band, great albums. Um, their 2021 release, I think it was Ruzia. Great record. Um, '02, Kane's Way, one of my favorite by them. Um, on this one, they have a female Polish opera singer, conductor, trainer. Her name is I wrote it down, and I know I'm going to butcher this name. I apologize. Eliza Sarchuk. I think she blends in with this really, very well. It's melodic at times, um, but it also has that devastating and just blistering sound that they're known for. The hard chugs, the drops, the guitar work on there is insane. The vocals are untouchable. I think the vocals are insane on this record. It has the chugs, it has the blast beats, like I said. Another, it's just these guys have been doing it for so goddamn long, and they're putting out absolutely quality record. I love the inlay on the CD. It's that typical black and death metal. You know, they talk about the church, satanism. Um, they throw in some war metal on here too, which I think is absolutely great. Um, some of the ones that I like, besides the title track, Ghost of Ghost of Lost Daylight, Delight, great great track, heavy at times, melodic, straightforward. Um, Alpha Alpha and Fairy Goddess of War, killer track. Love it. Prophets, prophets of Arken. It's again another absolute great band from Poland has been around for numerous years, putting out great stuff. And you know, this just cements them, in there. A band that, like I said, it's very overlooked. Um, People, go to the bigger names like Behemoth, and these guys been around just as long. You know, let's check them out. Check this album out. Great, great release, great album. One of the next ones, band called Graceless. They've been around since 2016, I believe. They have like 4 releases out. I'm missing like one or I think two from their catalog. Icons of Ruin. Old school death metal, death doom. Deep crushing riffs on this. Um, the vocals are like a deep snarling growling almost. Um, the band, that's I think the CD is still in my CD player, but I've been listening to it. But that's the inlay of it. Um, it's a 4 piece. Um, it has a heavy dose of that, that famous Dutch sound. Um, if you're into Asphyx, Pestilence, um, Delirium, even I'm sure people remember that one. Um, Even what you call its side project they did. Um, I forgot the name of the band. I got it right there. That's an S. I forgot the name of it. But anyways, um, one of my favorite ones is their debut Shadowlands. I have that over somewhere. Great record, great debut by these guys. Like I said, like that darkened death doom, melodic at times. Guitars are insane. Heavy record. Check these guys out. Graceless, Icons of Ruin. Um, I think it's gonna be a sleeper for album of the year. It's that damn good. Really good record. I've been as you can see, like I said, the CD's not even in here. It's in my CD player still. I've been listening to it a lot, along with other ones that I've been constantly going back to and listening and re-listening to, see if I missed anything. You Next one, Caustic Wound. I didn't know this record was coming out. Um, I went to it was right there. Um, Grinding Mechanism of Torment. This is their second release. Um, First one came out in 20. Death Posture. Great record. If you haven't got that one, pick it up. I got it over here somewhere. Gnarly, ugly, guttural, nasty vocals. It's just ugly shit. Um, there's members in here, current members and ex members of um Mortiferum. Also, they're in Cerebral Rot, um, Fedit, Opus, or Corpus Opal, who I talked about last stream, and also they were in a band called Of Corpse. Check them out. They're nasty. They have that black and death metal sound to them. This one, I didn't even know it came out. Um, Me and Mrs. Metalhead went to Generation Records, my spot in the city. I've talked about them many times. Um, Went there to get something else, and I walked in. Anybody that's been to Generation Records, you walk in the counters as soon as you walk in. The counter's right there, and they have like new releases, like it's just stacked on the counter, whether it's CDs, tapes, demos, flyers, things like that. And I always look there before I go like to the sidewall where the CDs are and the vinyl and the tapes, and then go downstairs. So I walked in, looked over, and I saw it. I'm like, "What's this?" Um, New one. It was like it popped up because went on their Instagram and Facebook. There was nothing. I came home in the city, and boom, it was up there. I'm like, how did I miss this? Um, Gnarly record. If you guys know Caustic Moon, you know what I'm talking about. It's just nonstop. Um, Blast beats, to say the least. Um, it's just it's just nasty. It's just, I can't even describe it. It's just that ugly of a record. It's just an insane record, in your face, nonstop. Um, some of the the tracks besides the title track, Human Shield, insane track, Blackout, Endless Grave. That song I've been playing a lot. Atom Blast, um, Sniper Nest. You know what that's about? Um, Dead Dog is just it's 16 tracks, and it doesn't drag on. It doesn't. It's one of those albums again you can put on repeat and just go with it. Um, as I said, it's a second release, strong candidate for album of the year for me. Um, it'll definitely be in my top 10. I guarantee you that. Like I said, I'm once I get everything done the way I want to do it, um, I'm gonna try to do like the top. Probably it's probably gonna be the top 40. I know people like to do top 50s and top 20s and top hundreds. Top 100 for me is just outrageous because that means you're basically everything you got and then some. You're throwing it in, just to show you got all these albums. For me, you know, whether you got 70 albums, 80 new ones, 100 new ones, I like to break it down. There's albums that I think deserve to be on there, um, that need to be heard, and bands that need to be checked out. So I'm working on that. That's probably going to be very end of December, probably the last week of December. Probably right around New Year's. I know last year or this year I didn't do it until mid January, and by that time I was starting to pack up everything already because we were moving. As a lot of people know, I moved, so I started doing my reviews later than normal because normally I would start doing reviews January, February. But you know, I'll do it my way, getting it done. A lot of people were sending me messages on Instagram or emailing me. And again, I want to thank everybody that has shared my channel out there. To a lot of people that I've met that found my channel, leave the comments. Another thing, uh, any album that I review, if you want to leave comments, feel free. I love talking about albums. Getting comments from other people, especially on like the album like Behemoth. I know that album is one of those albums that a lot of people like to go back and forth. One thing I will not deal with, if you have a problem with somebody on here and I'm friends with them, which I am, um, and I talk about a band that you have your own opinion on, fine. I like have people that have their own opinions on bands. That's fine, and albums. But when you start harping on it and harping on it and making yourself a nuisance, chances are I'm going to cut you off. Well, I'm not going to mention no names. Um, they have a beef with good friends of mine. Um, and it seemed like they were trying to come at me because they know I'm friends with them. That's not how it works. Um, like I said, I'm not gonna mention no names. I would let it go. I think I blocked them. I think I blocked them. But if you're seeing this, I probably still have you on Instagram. So if you want to run your mouth, feel free. But know this, I won't back down. That's not me. Anyways, you know who you are. Let it go. Like I said, if anybody wants to talk about albums, drop comments, whatever, feel free. Everybody knows I correspond with everybody, good, bad, indifferent, ugly. I don't care. There's some people I just wrote off. I just don't care about anymore. They know who they are. You know, if you come at me, whatever, I'll laugh at you. These people came at Mrs. Metalhead, and they didn't expect me to come back at them. Come at me all you want. Once you come at her, I draw that line, and that's when the other side of me comes out, which I'm told you guys don't cross me. You didn't believe me, so. But anyways, getting back to this, you want to leave comments? Fine, that's no big deal. Just don't let it keep dragging on like you're king shit of everything. I made friends on here. I met great people on here. I will continue to. I do it my way. And sorry about the light. I got a little. There we go. But like I said, leave comments. I forgot what I was gonna say, but leave comments you want. Everybody knows I go back and forth with people on albums, on bands, releases, and whatever. It's no problem to me. So, I got another one I want to talk about. Actually, I think it's two more. Yeah. Um, this band, I'm fairly new to this band. I've heard of them. I just didn't really listen to them. Um, and I ended up picking up the new album, uh, Ezer, Emote, I think it's pronounced. Um, Cryptic Aurora is the album. It's not a real bad record. Um, I think they have four albums out, if I'm not mistaken. This is the only album that I have by them. I have gone back to listen to their previous stuff, and it's pretty goddamn good. I'll probably end up picking up their albums. Um, Avant-garde, progressive, proggy at times, melodic. Um, this has I had to write this down. This has current and former members of Fear Factory, Death, Monstrosity, Raven, and um, Seren, Serena, I think it's called. Um, Production on this isn't bad. Um, it's in between. It's it's not a it's not a badly excuse me. I'm sorry. It's not a badly overproduced album or underproduced. I think it's just right. Um, like I said, I had to write some things down because, like I said, I'm new to this band. I like I said, I've heard of them, but I didn't really get into them. Get into them. Um, it's not killer. It's not a killer bad record. Like I said, I'm fairly new to it, but it's all around. It's not a bad record. Um, this came out on Testimony Records, I believe. Yeah. Um, not bad. Um, I listened to past some of their past ones. Um, and all in all, pretty good band. I can't say much about them. Like I said, it's really the first time getting, listening to them. I saw the people talk about them. Um, and a lot of them said the same thing I said. You know, melodic at times, progressive, proggy, melodic. Um, the vocals are. I like the vocals on it. Um, they're that. They're that. Almost like a Swedish type vocal to them. But if you like them, check them out. Um, Ezer, Emote. I think it's Emote. Um, Cryptic Aurora. Like I said, check them out. If anybody knows more about these guys, feel free to drop it in the comments section. Like it's like the first really time I really heard of these guys. I I think I picked their album up when I picked up a bunch of other stuff. I was like, yeah, let me try them out. So You know me, I'm always I'm always into finding new bands or bands, not new bands, but new bands to me that I haven't really heard of or gotten into or things like that. As you can tell, you know, with all bands I have, I'm always trying, up to finding new bands, up to hearing new bands, you know. uh, So definitely check them out. Next one, Antro Anthropophagia. They're from the Netherlands. They're um death metal, some grindcore, some grind doom even. This is their first one came out in '98. This is their sixth full length. I have a couple of their records. I know I'm missing like I think two. Count this one. Counting this one, I'm missing three actually. Um, one of the ones I like the most, I have Rites of Perversion and Merciless Savagery. It's if you're into if you're into benediction, sinister, diabolical, gorguts, um, goat horror, um, even bolt thrower. A lot of this is very bolt thrower esque. Um, the guitar sound to it is awesome. I think the vocals are very, very good. It has that bolt thrower sound, the vocal. Um, very good band, heavy band. I like the inlay, also the CD cover. It's art, not AI bullshit that a lot of people use. I can't stand AI, especially in music. I don't think AI belongs in music. Period. I've said it before. I'll say it again. Um, like I said, six full length. This one came out on shit. I forgot what it came out on. My bad. I forgot what it came out on, guys. Testimony Records again. Like I said, it's heavy. It's brutal. It's doomy at times. Um, guitars on this are great. The drums are insane. It can go real heavy to like almost like a thrashy type drum of it. The rhythm is perfect. Like I said, check them out. Like I said, I'm missing like three of them, I think. Um, from the Netherlands. Um, De- devoid the uh, devoid the light is the title of the record. I'm sorry. Like I said, check them out. Um, definitely probably be my top 25 or top albums of 2025. One that I've been spinning to, but definitely Anthrop. I always pronounce their name wrong. Anthropop Anthropomorphia. There we go. Check them out. Devoid the light. Um, death metal, mix some grindcore, some doom, some darkened death metal thrown in. Definitely check these guys out. Hi guys, thank you. I'm sorry if I rambled on a little bit earlier and I was all over the place. Um, I do got another one video set up to go after this one. I might put it right on. I just got to do some fine tuning to it, and then I'll do the reviews. I'll put it up. I got I got a pretty good bunch that I still want to get out. I got some stuff coming also. That should be here probably between this week and next week. I know I'm still waiting on Hell's Headbangers. That's probably gonna be coming uh, mid October for that. I still got one coming from Bandcamp. I have to check in on it. The new Retching album. I got to check on that one. Um, yes, I did some orders off of Amazon. Mrs. Metalhead ordered some stuff for her office, and she asked me if I want anything. So I was like, yeah, why not? I got some stuff coming. I did get the new Paradise Lost today. I've heard most of it. I'm gonna re-listen to it. Um, because I got a bunch of records, albums that I want to talk about. A lot of bands that I think deserve to be talked about. Again, hope you guys enjoyed this as much as I enjoyed doing it. Everybody knows my passion for metal runs deep, as you guys can tell.
no gatekeeping. Um, I just do what I like. You know, I always tell people, listen to what you want to listen to. The hell with what other people say or think about it. If it makes you happy, listen to it. I've been told it by many people. It's not a guilty pleasure. It's something you enjoy. All right. But again, thank you guys for tuning in. If you like, I know I haven't said this in a long time, but smash that like button. Share my channel out if you like. Um, Feel free to leave comments in the comment box. Any thoughts on the albums, things like that. Any albums or bands of that that maybe you want to put out there. Feel free, drop it in the comment box. But as for me, it's the Bulldog, Mr. Metalhead Warrior. Again, thank you guys for listening, for tuning in. To everybody that found my channel, if you're new, I appreciate you guys tuning in. Hope you enjoyed this. Stay hard, stay metal, stay brutal, stay metal, stay hard, stay heavy, stay metal, stay brutal. Keep it metal, keep it flowing. From the Bulldog, if you're gonna do something, make that shit count. I'm out.